All right. Well, I got a couple of people here. That's great. And I like to be timely. It's 5:59, so I'm going to have a very little lead in here. Uh, some of you know me, some of you don't. This is Greg Kiefer, and I am restarting a thing that used to exist here in our town a long time ago called First Coast Fandom. Back in those, it was like really like the early 90s, a friend of mine named Martin Smith had a television program that he actually ran on public access. Through great struggle and travail. I really was a big fucking pain in the ass to make something like this back then. And then they also had a fanzine that promoted that, and they cross promoted. There was a lot of stuff, but they had a lot of fun and got to meet a lot of people and stuff like that. And I like to have fun and I like to meet people, so that's what I'm doing now. So my first feature this week was going out to a friend of mine's place's shop, a friendly location that I'm going to feel really safe because I was surrounded by so many plastic toys. So it's called the Forgotten Toy Box, and it's here in Jacksonville, Florida, and the nexus of all realities when it comes to collecting here. So this is the first of many really cool places you'll see, and the first couple of some really cool people you'll meet as well. So here we go. Hey folks, how you doing? I'm doing something different now. Look at me. This is Greg. I'm sitting here. I'm talking to a buddy of mine. This is Tri Bowman. I've known this guy for about a zillion goddamn years. We share some fun experiences from the past of collecting toys. I'm going to move this because I put it in a dumb place.
Back in the day with books and comics.
I see you're a thumper. That's why I need to move it. Yeah, I used to be. I used to work in a comic shop, and Tri was just like he was a guy who was out and about, and involved deeply with toys and comics and things like that. So we saw each other all the time. And you see people out on toy runs all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, they're your competition. So it's unusual that you're going to run into somebody that you strike up a conversation with and an actual friendship with that can last for years and years.
Here we are.
That's pretty rare. That's a pretty rare thing, but it's a cool thing if you're open to it. And man, we got some fucking war stories from back in the day. We're going to save them. I'm not going to give you all everything, but suffice to say, I seen this guy. I would say it was kind of a forward flip. I saw him forward flip a guy into a 12-inch Tauntaun, yeah, 1/12 scale Tauntaun, which is a mouthful, and not everybody can say that. So we're sitting in the middle of your new kingdom here.
Yes, it is the Forgotten Toy Box.
The Forgotten Toy Box, and you're located. What's your address?
The address is 9936 Beach Boulevard, about a block 4 after Southside, depending which way you're coming up Beach Boulevard.
And what's your phone number if somebody wants to call you? And do you have a website? I'll get all that shit.
We are on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, The Forgotten Toy Box. If you Google us, it will pull up. We don't have a direct website because everything is in store. It's too much time to put.
Yeah. It moves so fast. It's like a giant pain in the ass. You can barely get it on Facebook, and you've got 5 guys going, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
There
it's
you
great.
go. Yes.
You've definitely found an interesting way to peddle your wares to an eager audience here. And it's probably worked fantastic in quarantine as well.
It has been 100. I could not expect it. I did not expect this, and it's better than I ever would have expected. Just the local community, just the locals in general. I hate to use the whole quarantine thing, but people were still working. They were forced at home. People needed outs, and as soon as we opened up, they saw a little blurb here or there. They got wind of us. They came in, and they're like, wow, this is something.
It's definitely something. I'm going to shoot a little on the way.
If you're into toys, this is a good.
Yeah, no,
we're not a comic shop. We're not a game shop.
This is a place to go. It's literally nothing but toys. There's a little bit of comics over in the corner.
Tiny bit.
Don't keep your expectations very low. But in terms of toys and models and all kinds, if it's plastic shit you want, plastic shit,
crap. There you go.
They got it in spades.
Yes.
So how long have you been open?
We have been open a little over 10 months right now. July will be our 1 year.
Okay,
so we're hitting 10 months now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just I heard crosstalk just before we went on talking to the landlord about rents and stuff like that. Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed recently, and we spoke about this a little bit, was about how this area of our town has become this really interesting nexus of geek shit.
Yes. Yeah. We touched on this last week. When we looked at this store, my partner Kaon, saw this place, and he's like, oh, this would be a good place. I went along with the ride as far as the location and everything. The rent was good. I couldn't argue that. I really didn't put one and one together until probably about 5 or 6 months into it, with us being open and everything. Where we are here off of Beach Boulevard, right up the south side, it's not the beaches, it's not the town, but it's, with Jacksonville being as big as it is, it's pretty close to the middle. And we're on with south side right here, this vein, if you will. I mean, we've got Gotham City Limits right behind us.
Yep.
We got us. You got, Coliseums on the other side over here at Atlantic. You've got several card games.
Yeah, there's a card game place right down on Beach, and then Dick and Jane's, which is like
right
the oldest card shop in town.
Yeah, that's where, because everyone comes in with sports cards. Nope, go to Dick and Jane's. You know, we can't do anything. There's a video game store right down here.
Oh, that's right. And then there's a place that sells the consoles and everything too. They actually sell stand-up Donkey Kongs and shit like that. Yep. So I mean, there's just like all the geek shit's happening right in this area.
Yes,
it's really wild, and it has everything to do, I'm sure, with rents,
property
values, and stuff like that. Because when we look at where the other shops are all out towards Park Street, that area of town where the rents are obviously lower as well.
Yeah, and if we wanted to go further out, we could have done Flashy and go further out, but it would have been a lot more out of pocket, a lot more we wouldn't be able to invest into the store because we would have been too busy trying to pay for all the glitz and glamour, which doesn't do us any good.
One of the things that we hit on, and this is because of I came to you in my hour of need and you turned me away unsatisfied, was I was looking for this fat clone idiot figure, this fucking moron that I collect from Star Wars, and I knew what it was, and you knew what it was immediately, and as soon as I asked for it, I got guys that are after those. So like in a comic book store, you've got like a pull list, where you basically have a computer file that tells you this guy gets this, he gets Spider-Man, blah, 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 and every week you just pull their shit.
Right.
So do you keep a file? Do you have some kind of information database, or is it all in here? Does it die with you?
We're old school.
That's what I need to know.
Some of it will die with me. Some of it is old school. We do have an index up there. We do cards. We do a lot because we don't actually. If you've been in, our register is not a computer system. It's just the old school cash register. But we do keep notes and everything. But we also do, with the help of the North Florida Collectors Club, we are able to go out there, showcase what we get when we do get it, and then we have our regulars, or we have the ladies and gentlemen in the group who can message us right away. Hey, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for this. And if it is that one, such as like we talked about, you wanted this one particular figure. Well, I already know there's people who want it, so it's probably already spoken for or gone. At that point, I know you're looking for it, and so let it be. If I have to write it down, or if you're in here enough that I know straight up that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I know that dude. Yeah, as soon as you see the stuff, I know the guy that wants that.
So when we get those in, we're able to take a pic or just notify someone, hey, we got it, here you go.
I was interested in your process because it seems like you take in a lot of merchandise. I've worked in comic book stores where we bought and sold, and we bought very little. We took in very little. It was very rare that we actually bought a lot. We got a lot of calls, and we got a lot of people coming in, but it was rare that we were able to actually make a purchase.
Well, the way we're doing this particular business, and this is going to say I'm going to use Awesome Toys because since that is my partner store also. That's a larger operation that you're a small part of. Basically, like Coliseum of Comics is a straight. Well, if you want to, because
there's no shame in it. Don't
Kung Fu started also.
If it gives you strength as a retailer in the market to have that behind you, fucking take it, bro. I don't have time for it. I've seen people who are getting pissed off about Coliseum of Comics buying other operations and stuff. The operations that they have bought are people that wanted to get the fuck out in the first place.
Yeah,
and those places
wasn't
just
what
shut
they wanted. Yeah,
they would have just shut.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with there's benefits to that.
Well,
yes, it can get big and impersonal, but it can also be really nice.
It is. And going back to Cone's store, Awesome Toys, he started that up basically as a used toy store, just vintage, some modern, and it's grown. And he's been in business over 5 years. He doesn't do any new distribution, so any capital that he has, he takes over his bills, whatever expenses he has, and then you have your ability to buy
how much you drink.
Yes,
and that's you're gonna take that off the top.
So we're not doing new subscription pools. We don't do in this particular store. We have just started Entertainment Earth, a few other smaller distributors. So we do have a little bit of inventory, newer
a little
we're
bit
coming,
of distribution.
but that's going to be a very small, a tenth, maybe 20th at the best. 20% at the best. Our bulk, our bread and butter is the stuff that walks in. People, hey, I want to sell this collection, or trades. Because what I have found since we started this is these things go in cycles. We might get something in today. Someone might want it. They might bring their stuff in. We might do a trade. Someone might see that trade. We might go through 2 or 3 turns before we actually see cash flow, which sounds like a bad thing, saying it right there. But
depends on how much you move.
Yeah, exactly. But we have everyone
around.
else coming in. You got your regulars or just the new people coming in, and they're still buying stuff. So even though, we bought this big lot right here, we're going to sell it one way or another. You might get a few trades in on it at first for other stuff, which helps the inventory multiply.
So you're actually using the barter economy to actually boost your profitability.
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
something that if you didn't know what the hell you were doing, you
Yes.
could never possibly do that.
You have to know
Yeah.
what you have.
You can't just go, I'm going to be a toy guy and I'm going to know,
With the exception of one guy, with the exception of one guy who's actually been successful at, Cone, he knows nothing. Nothing.
Well,
he will admit it
he knows
to
to
you.
hire smart guys like you, right?
Yeah.
Where
But he admits it. But that's played to his
So how
ability.
did you run into this guy? How did you guys cross paths and end up working together?
We, he was just out he was out in the west side, Awesome Toys,
I
and
thought you were going to say he was out on the side of the
No.
road and I picked him up.
I actually, I was signing up for a toy show. I think it was one of Tony Hines' shows, and he had flyers, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago. He had flyers at Cosmic Comics, or he had the application you go in and sign up for, because the main guy doing it was down south somewhere, so they had that.
They just had kind of like a local sign-up spot.
So I went up there, talked to Bobby, and was like, hey, I'm looking to do this. And at this time, at the time, I was still working a regular 9-to-5 job. Okay, but I was making my decision. I want to buy and sell. I want to do this for real. People thought I was crazy, and this is the first show I was going to try it at. I'd done shows forever, but this is like, all right, let me see if I can maximize this, because the other shows I went to was like more of a collector, like, okay, I maybe want to sell this, maybe I don't, the price is right type deal. But this show was like, we're here to sell. Let's see what we can do.
Going to move some merchandise.
Yeah, so I went in, talked to Bobby, and it's the first time I ever met Bobby, and he was really nice. He basically gave me a few pointers, and basically
Now, who's Bobby?
Bobby Cosmic Comics.
Okay, all right. Because I
didn't kill his last name.
You talked about some Bobby. I'm like, who the fuck is Bobby?
Poindexter. I didn't want to kill his last name.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
Bobby
is-
Poindexter. He's
Oh, okay.
the owner of Cosmic Comics. And when I was in there talking to Bobby, he actually did 2 things. One, he pointed me to the North Florida Collectors Club for the toy farm. I'd never heard of it before. All right, oh, okay, well, what is this? So went and looked up that. Then he was like, 2, there's a toy store out on the west side, Awesome Toys. You might be able to do, some connections or, just giving me a little heads up. So I was like, okay. So long story short, went out to Awesome Toys. I met Cone, and, and basically from there, I started off as a customer. I was going in, buying a few things, and then we ended up, I was buying lots. So, like, I would buy a bunch of, say, old G.I. Joe, which is a lot of what I was doing at the time. I was buying G.I. Joe. I would, have what I have, then I have all this extra. Some of the stuff, I was doing a lot of eBay sales at that time. So a lot of the stuff, I didn't want to have to ship.
Right, yeah. And especially big vehicles and shit
Yes.
like that. Oh,
So-
no, thank you.
Started talking to Cone, and then Cone was like, well, bring me what you can, man. And then, so basically, we were able to work out a deal that I was still able to make something, but he was able to make something. And
Leave a little meat on the
Yes.
bone and everybody
So-
wins.
we did that, and we started snowballing. That went on for about a year or 2. And it just happened. We were in the shop one day, and he was talking about maybe doing another store. And I'm like, I've been doing this for a few years now, the buying and selling, and it's doing really good. And, it's kind of in my head, too. I want to do it. And he's like, well, let's do it. I mean, when we just said, yeah.
And the legend was born. High five.
Yeah, like that. We didn't know what we were doing.
Fireworks,
We didn't know.
explosions.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
And so we spent like 3 months like just talking about it, like planning it out, and then finally it came do or die time. Like, all right, are we gonna do it or not? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So so we started the whole process, locating a place, which a lot of that was Cone. I mean, he's got an eye for this type of stuff, and then So we found the buildings, we got set up, we did all the paperwork, and then it was just basically getting inventory, which he had inventory, I had inventory. We went out and bought inventory together, and lo and behold, Forgotten Toy Box was born. We started the build out June 1st, and we were.
And you probably had a crew of guys waiting for the place to open up.
We
did.
You're
already tied in with this local fan club.
Yeah, with the North Florida Collectors Club, we were able to promote the shop, let everyone know about it, give them little teasers here or there, which was mean, to a certain point because people had to wait. Mm-hmm. But we were able to, and there was a lot of, straight love from these guys. We did our first, the first day we opened, we had a soft opening in the late afternoon, and we had like a club meeting here for the North Florida group, and it was a smash, and it was like that first day, it was like, wow.
What a high, right? What a high,
yeah. And for the ones who don't know me, I had a store back in the late 90s, early 2000s called Avalon Toys and Comics out in the beaches on 3rd Street, across the street from Dairy Queen, and it was awful. I loved the little shop. I did my best, but it was not the right time for what I wanted. Because I was trying to be a toy shop, but I was doing it the comic way, so I did the whole diamond stuff, and Dragon's Tail was down the road, and it was not the right.
It's like, I was talking about Coliseum of Comics. I was actually in there 2 days in a row, talking to a guy, and he was trying to buy a couple things, just talking him up, seeing about the place, because it's amazing. You've been in, right?
I have not been in yet. No, I have not been in yet.
Holy shit, it's insane.
I'm sure it is.
It's amazing. It's a really cool place.
I've seen the pitch, but I haven't been in yet.
Whew, it's nice. So I'm talking to the guy, and then I tried to buy some stuff. Couldn't get it done because the registers weren't working because they're just in soft opening.
Yeah.
And so that's why you have a soft opening. So he's like, I'll hold it for you, come back the next day. I never imagined he actually would, but he did. I came back the next day, and my Man Thing comics were sitting there waiting for me along with the dice that my kid wanted. And I'm talking to the guy, talking him up, and I'm talking about this idea of this thing that I want to do with this show that you're on right now, that we're doing right even as we speak. And we're talking and stuff, and he rings me up and everything. And he goes, your voice sounds so familiar. I take my mask off. And he goes, son of a bitch. He takes his mask off. It's Dave, this guy. I've been dealing with him at the Dragon's Tail back in the 90s.
Dave, who worked then he went to the beaches, Coliseum Comics.
Yes.
That's why I
He's been around forever. He's a
little guy. And he sold me like my Iron Man #1.
Dude, we're probably close to the same age, and I bought my books from him at Dragon's Tail when they were at their first beach location, ran tournaments
right
there.
Right, Seminole and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For the longest time. So I've known that guy, forever. So that's, when people get mad about, these chains and stuff like that, they forget that they're going to have local people. They're going to have to get local people to do these things. And if you're just dead set against a chain kind of thing, then I don't know. You're probably going to miss out on some aspect of things. That just odd. It's a brewing. I see a brewing.
The best thing I can say about it is Coliseum of Comics. We're definitely not trying to be a Coliseum of Comics. We're the Forgotten Toy Box. We deal in toys. To an extent where you could find rocket tubes, an ET board game, some Hot Wheels.
That's okay. That reminds me. There's a feature I want to do with you. I want to do a feature, especially in this place, about, and I want to call it Show and Smell.
Show and Smell. There you go.
And Show and Smell is basically where I want you to go and walk to the shop and find the worst damn thing that you've been trying to sell for like 20 years, okay? Go.
We'll have to do that.
No, go. I'm telling you, go right now.
I don't know. No, we're not right there yet because I haven't been here for 20 years yet.
No. I can show you one of mine.
What's that?
I can show you.
Oh, I'm sure he's over there.
No. Okay. I'll show you something that I bought a long time ago. I saw in your store and I said, oh boy, I gotta get it. There's one you don't have that I do have, so maybe I'll have to come sell it to you. But these stupid ass things,
Robin Hood,
now,
the old Kenners.
I have this one because these, if you take Friar Tuck's robes off, underneath he's a Gamorrean guard.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a Gamorrean guard's body that they reused, and they just stuck a head on, and then they put a robe over it so you can't tell. The thing that I have, and I didn't see it over there, and I'm sad for you, I might sell you one.
Oh.
There was, when these first came out, the very first run of these when they came out, they apparently they were in production before they had cast Kevin Costner.
Right.
And so there's ones that came out first that don't have the likeness of Kevin Costner. They have a different head.
Oh, really?
There's a non-Costner version of the Robin, and that's what I thought you had over there. But this was definitely one that you're going to keep a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This one, and the guy's face says it all. Look at this fucking idiot.
Oh, he does sit. But you know, we have that because you never know when
You
someone.
never know.
I have sold some stuff out of here that I was like, when we brought it in, why are we even holding that?
It's space filling.
Why? And then next thing I know, someone is buying it.
And they've got a smile on their face,
Yeah.
and they're happy as can be.
I didn't mention
right?
anything about it. They went back there, they picked it up under their own free will, brought it up, and purchased it. I've learned many a lesson. It's not about me.
Nobody
it's
put
not
a
about
gun
me.
to their head.
It's about what the people want. You know, Hot Wheels. When we opened and Pops, two things I said I don't want to deal with those. Cone was like, "Oh, we probably need to. Yeah, you probably need to if you want to have a toy store because you do have digest people."
Now
Hot
I
Wheel
think
people.
it qualifies if you have one of these. You have
Yes.
something for everybody. But
Yes.
I look around and I see, like, seriously, there's so much stuff. There's stuff I don't even know what the hell it is.
I mean,
I don't
we
even
got-
know what
yes.
these properties are and what they're related to.
We do have vintage, late 70s, 80s. We don't really have anything early 70s or 80s. It's just too hard. I mean, there are some digest. Yes.
I love the trucks. Seriously, I mean, if some dumb parent made the mistake of wandering in here one day and realized, oh, this isn't the store for us. Well, for me and my 4-year-old, fucking put this in their hand. This
Yeah.
thing's gonna last like 40 years.
I mean, it's already been around.
They'll
30 or
probably
40.
break their little brother's jaw with it, but I mean that's a serious piece of equipment and not something you're really going to see in your app. You're not going to see one of those sitting around in the back corner at Target.
No, not at all. Not at all. The old Tonkas, yeah, you're not going to see this.
But that's the kind of stuff that somebody might walk in and go, "Oh my God, I had that exact truck."
Well,
when I
and that's
was a
what
kid."
you hear all day
Right.
long. It's nostalgia. They walk in and it's like they're back. And depending on how old you are, where we got 80s, you got 70s, 80s, 90s. You're starting to get a few early 2000s
Well, the
stuff.
early 2000s just about to come around.
Yeah, definitely,
It's
because it
there's
is in the 90s right now. It's the 90s.
It's such a predictable cycle.
Yeah.
This 20-year thing, and as soon as you get 20 years out from something, those people, those 8-year-olds, are now 28-year-olds.
Yep.
And they're getting money, and they got disposable income, and they want their shit back.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah,
Really
which I mean, this is like that you're talking almost like Age of Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and
That's
is a lot of
That's
the-
where we're at right now
Yeah.
because the Yu-Gi-Oh's gone nuts. All the CCGs have gone nuts. The Magic the Gathering.
Yep,
The
Magic,
Star Wars CCG is bonkers.
which I didn't even realize. I thought they were dead and gone,
No.
and then people have been like, "Oh no!"
Oh my God! You should see the prices on sealed
know.
product for that stuff. It's
I will,
staggering.
believe me, yeah.
Staggering. There's so much stuff that I should have saved.
Yeah.
I had 2 boxes of Death Star 2 in my closet for probably 6 or 7 years, and finally sold them for like $100.
Yeah.
Fucking things go for like $1,600 now. Why? Come on, son of.
Because you can't get it.
Yeah, and I can't get that money now.
Yeah,
I'm never
yeah.
gonna get that money now. Well, I think your place is really cool.
Awesome, thank you, man.
I love that you've tied in with the community and stuff like that, and that's why I came to you first when
Yeah.
I wanted to start on this show thing that I was doing, because this feels like the kind of place that's really tied in with folks.
Well, you have to, because if you got people walking in and out and they're not happy, if they're not leaving happy, or if they're not coming back,
No.
and they're not telling their friends, and they're not telling the other people, or even we just the new people who come in every day, because we get it every day still. I never knew you were here today. And then we had a gentleman who came in last Friday. He came in with his buddy from the restaurant next door, and he was like, "Do you mind if I look at these He-Man classics? I got all those Motu classics up on the thing." He went through and opened every mailer box up just to take pics. Well, he asked if he could. I was like, "Yeah, definitely. Just be careful with them," and he was perfectly fine with them. Well, he come back today, and spent a pretty penny this morning.
Stack 'em up.
He was looking for his son. His son, who doesn't live here, his son.
Which ones do you want?
Yeah, is what it was.
This guy's
His early
got a bunch
20s,
of these things.
had
I'll
money
send
to
to you.
burn, and we had them all on hand. So they came in the first thing this morning. Door open. He came in. All right, I'm gonna FaceTime my son. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, definitely. And couldn't complain, man. It's like,
that's great. That's
so.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing, and I think this what I want to do, what you're doing, is
Yeah.
like tying into your community. You found a community, and you knew you had that behind you before you even opened your business. And I think that's something that locally can get bigger and better
Yes,
and more fun.
yeah.
You know, especially now that everybody's kind of going out. I don't think people are going to want to stop collecting, but I think they may be able to find a way to make it even more fun. Just add people.
Yes. Yeah, and that's
just
what
add
it is.
people, and that's what makes it the best.
Yeah, and when we see that in here, because because with the North Florida Collectors Club, there are so many people, and they will only interact while they're on the auctions or in between each other's posts. So you're seeing the meme picture, you're seeing whatever picture. You're not actually seeing that person, and it happens every time. You'll have 2 or 3 of them in here, and then they don't know each other, but then hey, they'll hear the name. Who's that? Who's that? And then you just introduce them all, and then they're just off in a corner talking.
3 hours later,
they're all just talking like, hey, and that's the great part about it. You can come up here, just hang up. We tell the people, if y'all want a place to trade, go to either Awesome Toys or here, use this as a drop point. That's what a lot of this, top stuff is. They can bring in their stuff if they want to meet someone, if they're doing a trade or a sale or something, and they can't get the time right, just drop it off at one of the shops. At least it's secure, it's here.
Wow, that's really nice of you. Yeah, that's really cool.
So it doesn't bother us.
I fucking love that, bro. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It's kind of like remotes, like the Amazon locker trade spot. That's really slick.
Yeah. So at least they know we're here. It's the best we can do.
That's pretty good. This rocks out, actually.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
And it works.
That's very fucking smart, man. Seriously. And again, tying in the involvement stuff. They may end up sending some guy that's never even been in here to go get something from a trade.
Oh, it happens. It happens all the time. People. Not. It is, at the end of the day, it's a store. It has to make sales. But again, we're here for the community too. At the end of the day, when we say the North Florida Collectors Club, that's our core. That's our main people, We do look at a few other groups out there that we do some auctions in from time to time, but the core is North Florida Collectors Club. Those are the locals. They're the ones here. They're the ones walking through this door. And to go back to the whole, we got the same people who do go to Gotham City. We got the same people who go to Awesome. The same people who go here. They travel through all the The stores can't. There's not one store that's gonna have.
Right. Ever. Yeah, I'm gonna dominate.
That will never happen.
The only competition I really see as a possibility between comic shops mostly is in their pull customers, and that's gonna have everything to do with where their location is.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna want to get their pull
as
that's on the way to work, on the way home to work from work, or some convenient place in their life.
Yeah.
And if your store's not that place, you're not gonna get their pull. It doesn't matter how great you are, what discount you get.
Yeah. Period. That's it. So, I think a lot of it's a little over, but, give them time.
Well, it seems like everybody that's in the space, the collector space, is doing great and making money, and that's awesome. So that's cool.
It is definitely a thriving and a very healthy, I hate to say business, but
it's a business.
It is.
No, don't
is.
be shy.
There's
plenty of guys that fuck around just as hobbyists that buy and sell.
Oh, I believe. Yeah,
subsidize. That's how we all ended up doing shit.
That's how I did it for many a years.
I've worked in the retail of this as well, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
it's pretty fabulous. It's nice to be the guy behind the desk at the register, baby.
I do. I like to say, I love coming in here on Mondays. Even like I used to. Okay, everyone hates Mondays, or you have your way about Monday, but just another day. I love coming in here. You just never know what's going to come in the door, who's going to come in the door,
What plastic treasures. What plastic treasures will I see this day?
That's about it.
Well, I want to thank you very much for your time sitting down. I don't want to keep you away from your register too much, but I really appreciate it, and I thank you so much. And I think you're doing a fucking really cool thing here, man.
Awesome.
It's really great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Next, I sat down with co-owner Ko-On Fu, who's an awesome dude.
So, sir, what is your name?
My name is Ko-On Fu. Yes, sir.
Kung Fu. And you're the co-owner, the partner to Try Bowen in this enterprise here. You're the mastermind with the previous stores that came in with the big money and made all this happen like Daddy Warbucks. So you've got another store out across town, I take it.
Yes, that's correct. But the mastermind part, not really. The money part is not really. But
I like to tell stories. They're not always true, but they're fucking entertaining as hell.
Yeah. But the reason why I say that because most of my money goes to the family, not to me.
Okay.
I'll be lucky to have like $1
the family,
in my pocket.
mean
you know what I mean?
The family.
Yeah, the family.
The Cosa Nostra.
First family,
yes. A lot of
then
people don't
toys
realize,
and business.
A lot of people don't realize how deeply tied to the toy industry the mob actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting a little view inside. So your other store, Awesome Toys, you've been in business there 5 years, did I hear?
Awesome Toys been around for at least 8 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
We just move locations.
Okay, so you just keep moving one step ahead of the law.
Yes, exactly.
I
When
like
they
it.
try to find out, like, I'm not doing things correctly,
Yeah.
then I move to a different place so
Sure.
I can start all over again.
Yeah. And I mean, your landlord, he's never going to see that coming. Yeah.
No clue, right?
Skip Town took all the profits. He
Yeah.
left the fucking toys.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
is these Robin Hood things
There's
still
a
here?
reason. There's a reason why I set up like 10 stores in like 5 years. You know, so there you go.
Yeah, and the landlord will not accept Robin Hood toys in lieu of payment.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
found that out the
Yeah.
hard way. Yeah.
But my
So-
landlord loves me though.
So your background in toys, how did you get, like, you know, I always ask people, how do you get into a hobby like this? Like, what was your collecting bug?
I hate to disappoint you, but I never collected toys.
Really?
I don't know anything about toys. I still kind of don't know much about toys, but I know enough to get by. You know what I mean?
But
So,
you knew
that's
enough
what
to
I'm at.
hire a guy that
There's-
knows about
there's a
toys.
reason- yeah,
I
there's a
assume
reason
you
why.
have some other genius over at your other places too?
Yeah, you know, my customers are genius. My regulars, because they love the store, they love to shop there, and they love to help me out because they know I'm like clueless half the time. So I'm great with people, I'm great with numbers, but I'm not great with toys.
Well, I hope you just only have nice customers then
They're
forever.
all nice customers. I love them.
Just-
I welcome them with open arms. Sometimes I even lay out the red carpet for them, open doors, and then, you know, they come in happy, but they leave happy. That's the way it is. It's all about the people. It's not about what the inventory we have, how much money we make. It's not that at all. It's about the people making them happy.
So
Just
what is
connecting
it about the toy business that you enjoy? If you're not into toys, what is it? What do you like?
with them. What drives me to do
Yeah.
what I do is putting a smile on people's faces and changing their daily routine. Like let's say for example you have a bad day. Okay, you go to a toy store gives you a smile, and when I see that smile, that makes a difference for me. So it's never really about the money. It's not really about the inventory, but it is. The inventory is okay because I need to get the inventory for them. That's why, that's why we do what we do, and like ultimately it's the people. I mean, that's my motto. Like the 3 C's I go by: communications, community, and culture. I mean, you can run your business any way you want to, but
if those are solid, you're going to kill it.
Yes,
Plus, you're going to have a great time. Right?
Yes,
That's important
yes,
as well.
yes.
It has a lot to do with quality
Yes.
of life,
You
I
have-
think, for folks when they choose a job like this.
Yes, you choose. You want to run it as a business. Do you want to run it as something that you enjoy doing, like a community, a culture? Changing people's lives, changing people's outlook of collecting. You know what I mean? That's what I strive for. It's different, isn't it? You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I'm not against it. I'm 100% for it. Yeah,
Right,
I'm for
right.
that shit, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
No, I hate that. I
Yeah.
wanted you to say it's about making a buck and squeezing every last dime out of this
Not at all.
beautiful hobby.
Not at all. I mean, if you for example, our last, we got our first review at the other store, and the one thing that he mentioned is that he made me feel like I was family. I mean, that melts your heart. You probably don't think a guy like me have a heart like that, but I love.
Well,
it.
I don't know you. I just met you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
judge your heartlessness at
Yeah,
a later
yeah.
date.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you'll turn me down for
Yeah.
something in the future. But right now, we're great friends, and I
Yes.
appreciate your time.
That's
And
all-
I thank you so much.
That's all you got. I
My
can go
best-
on forever.
You're my best friend.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Did
We're
I
now
mess you
best
up?
friends.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't think you were going to raise it like that on me
No.
so fast, but
No.
okay, we're best friends.
I can go forever. We're best friends. If you guys are viewing this right now, did you
We're not. It's not live, but I'm putting this
whenever,
in.
whenever it's live, just follow this guy right here. He's gonna be amazing. Just look at his face. Remember him.
Yeah.
And,
remember him while you can. He's old
yeah,
as shit.
Exactly. He's gonna interview crazy guys like me that doesn't know anything about toys, but run a toy business.
But run a toy business. That's
Exactly.
wild. Yeah, that's
and,
really strange.
and we're not
So
gonna
you're
end
not
there.
into any. What you got to be a fan of something. Okay.
I like it.
The
I love
focus. Okay, now let me tell you, because this show is going to be about fandom. I think it's going to be just about. I saw a guy today had a truck that looked like Bruce Wayne's Jeep or some shit at the grocery store, and I almost stopped him so I could talk to him about his Jeep because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a fan.
Right.
He's a hardcore
Right.
fan. The people that come into a place like this, they're hardcore fans.
Yeah.
You got to be a fan of something. You got to be what you like, sports or
I mean,
something.
I love sports.
Or cooking. There's got to be something
I
that
love-
you devote
I love vintage
to
toys.
fandom.
But I mean, I love all kinds of toys. But like I said, the most important part of me loving toys is loving to see people's smiles.
So you
I
don't
know.
collect anything?
No, not at all.
Gosh,
I don't even
I don't-
have one toy in my house.
I think this guy's an alien. Okay,
Not one
everybody's
toy in
got
the
to
house.
collect everything. No, you
Yeah.
don't have to collect toys. You can collect romance novels.
Yeah.
Band-Aids,
Right.
vacuum cleaners. People do all kinds of crazy shit.
I just enjoy family. I enjoy kids. I enjoy people, making people happy. I enjoy changing people's lives.
I don't know how to deal with a person like this.
I know. It's odd, isn't it? I know.
He doesn't
You wish you
collect
had Bowman back here.
I like this family stuff, but I really can't. I don't know if I can relate to a person.
Maybe
that
it should be a different show,
isn't
right?
A fan of something.
This should be a different show.
You gotta
Yeah,
be. You'll be a fan. You'd be a fan of people.
Yes, yes.
You could be just a
Yes.
fan of people.
I just want to make a difference.
Okay. Well, I think you are. Thanks
Yeah,
again.
thank
I
you.
really appreciate your
Yes,
time.
sir.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir. No problem.
There we go. That was our first foray out into the town. Went out, saw this cool place. I've been hitting a couple other places as well. Shooting a little stuff tomorrow at this big place that just opened up. Eventually, I hope to get out there and start meeting the denizens of these locations as well. I'm sure just by being around, I'm going to run into people and hopefully some really funny and crazy people. I guarantee there will be some of those around in this town. So I look forward to discovering that, and I hope that you've enjoyed discovering this cool place with me. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.